we're live. Today I have the honor of interviewing XP the Marxman, a prolific rapper with an incredible discography. He recently just got back from his European tour. He's been releasing project after project this year. He has a new album coming out next week entitled Terrermoto. We're going to bring him in and talk to him about his new album, his incredible career, and future plans. Let's bring him in. Thank you, my bro. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How you doing, man?
I'm good, my brother. Thank you so much for being on the Cristopolis show. What an honor to have you on, my bro. I've been listening to your discography since we set this up, like on heavy rotation. I got
That's
the
what's up.
sneak peek to the new album that's dropping this week.
That's what's up.
Woo!
Oh, yeah. You know how we doing, man? We keeping the train moving, man. We keeping the wheels moving, you know?
Yeah, it's an amazing 2024 for you, building on top of an amazing 2023. The last several years, you've had this momentum going, and you're not taking your foot off the gas pedal.
Not one bit. Not one bit,
Yeah,
man. I
brother.
think I think in the climate of hip hop right now, man, you really have to be on some shit. You know, you gotta be on your own time, and you also gotta be on the time of what's moving too. So whatever you feel comfortable with, move, but just know that shit's moving, man. And if you want to compete, you got to be able to drop shit consistently. You know what I
That's
mean?
good. My bro, I got so many questions for you. I love your career, your journey, your message, the fact that you're from LA, the fact
LA,
that you're in such a unique space too, right? You know, a Chicano bar spitter, right? So there's so much that I want to cover, but there's one thing that I want to open up with right out the gate. You have a new album dropping this coming week entitled Terrermoto,
Facts.
completely produced by Terrester. Can you talk to us about this new project?
Yeah, man. I've been working with Curister for I want to say about 3, 4 years now. You know, we dropped a few singles here and there. I got him on a few projects here and there, but um this one's a little special because you know we had dropped records, but I had recently flew out on my last tour to Europe, and I went to Barcelona, and that's where he's from. I mean, I don't know if he's from Barcelona, but he's from around there, and he met me over there, and we got to like chop it up and really link up on some uh physical shit because I feel like when you work with international artists, very rare is it that you link with them in the flesh, you know what I mean, and really get to vibe out and shit like that. So we really got to do that. And so once I got back, I really made it a staple for me to create some shit to his beats, you know what I mean? And his shit is undeniable, you know what I mean? He has those joints where he really gets me into that mode of you know, my emotions and real deep s- story shit where like he pulls it out of me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a real unique relationship we have, but I feel like the music, you know, speaks for itself. So that's pretty much what it is. And what I did was I utilized the whole 94 earthquake that happened out here in the valley
Yeah.
in Northridge because I was actually in that shit, you know what I mean? So
Wow.
I got displaced, you know, from my apartment building and had to live in a gymnasium, you know, at the YMCA, and I believe my mom and my brother are actually in if I'm not mistaken, I think it's Los Angeles Times, like one of the big books
Yeah.
that there's like a picture of my brother and my mom like in like turmoil, you know what I mean? Like yeah, so like there's like a little bit of history there too. So I wanted to utilize that shit as like I'm about to really shake shit up, you know what I mean?
Oh,
And
that's
utilize
good.
that whole um you know, theory of like the tectonic plates and you know the San Andreas, you know, fault. Like me living here and living through that shit, I want to bring that through the music, though. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I really want to shake shit up with not only this project, but this year, man, I really made it, you know, a staple to myself and you know to all my listeners out there that I want to drop every month. You know, and I really want to keep my promise to that. So I want to drop quality shit every month. You know what I mean? It's not just drop shit just because it's like I want to drop quality projects, and I feel like I have enough music in the tuck that I create, you know, on the daily that the world needs to hear, man. So I was super chill on shit, like, you know, really, you know, particular on what I do release, but I think now I'm just gonna flood this bitch out and just let you fools know what time it is, you know what I mean? So that's just what it is, man, you know?
That's dope, brother. That's dope.
Yeah,
So new album dropping on
the
Tuesday.
30th. Yes, sir. On the 30th, yes, sir. Because you know, I mean, it's been ready, and like, you know, I've sent it out to, you know, all the DJ homies and all the people that need to have it and hear it. And so I've had it ready, you know what I mean? And I have other projects at the ready, but I feel like this one, the reason why I chose this one for this month was because I kind of felt like the music really resonated on where I'm at in life, you know, because
Yeah.
I think you know, every artist, you know, they have their ins and outs of how they feel, where the music leads them, and I feel like this particular album really speaks on where I'm at, you know, and the physical life of everything and shit, man. But yeah, Terrermoto coming soon by my man Currister. Shit about to be crazy, man. Chino Excel's on there. We got my man Born Unique on there. Montage One, cuts by DJ Boogeyman, DJ Roams. Shit is, you know, jam packed with some ill shit, man. You know.
Yeah, nothing but heavyweights. Nothing but terremoto, earth shaking,
Yeah, full
speaker
straight up. Like
speaker rattling.
I think honestly, I think I got some of the illest verses of the year on this album. And I'm putting that shit out there because now I'm not speaking for myself. Speaking of the individuals that are on the shit, you know, like
Yeah.
I think I you know, I got some of the illest verses to ever be kicked this year. And if you hear them shits, you could level them up to anything that's out right now. The rhymes on that shit are just crazy. The hooks are crazy. Um, you know, I don't really toot my own horn too much, man, but I really love this project because, like I said, like there's some really unique shit that I do on there with you know the whole harmonizing shit that I feel like I should flex a lot more of, and I think I did that on this one with certain joints. So I'm really showcasing who I am as an artist on this, man. I don't just rap. I do it all, man. Like I'm an artist, you know what I'm saying? I'm not just an underground artist. I'm not just a boom bap artist. Like I'm true to this art form, and um I try to put myself to the test as much as I can so I could come up with the best shit, man. So
Yeah.
I hope y'all hear it too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that's where we
Yeah.
at.
Terremoto, completely produced by Curster, dropping on Tuesday. Is it going to be available on all
Yeah,
DSPs?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, I was gonna hold off on shit and do something, but I was like, you know, I'm just gonna launch this one straight to all the DSPs and let them marinate because I mean I already have the release date for my next shit next month already. So you know I mean I want to give fools enough time to like sit and like marinate and shit because just last month I dropped the shit with Ice Rocks, you know, which was the Amsterdam EP, you know, the
Yeah.
Nomad shit and all the homies that I shot this to, they're like, yo, we're still like
We're still
soaking up.
digesting the Amsterdam
Yeah,
EP.
yeah, but see, but that's not up to me. Like that's like y'all fools need to catch up. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
y'all need to sit in the pocket, like you know. But
Yo,
you
you
know what it is. You
can't
know,
stop the train. If you miss the train, you got to catch the next one.
you gotta catch the
The
next one,
train
and then
keeps going.
yeah, and then you can circle back on all that shit. Just stay on the train and ride that motherfucker all the way around, and you'll see it. You know, you'll double back for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And for the people who just jumped in, I want to make sure, given that this project is dropping next week, that we get the good snapshot. You have a new project dropping next week called Terremoto. It's
Facts.
based on the 1994 LA earthquakes. It's produced by
Yeah,
Kirster in Barcelona, and it's got Montage One, Chino XL, Born Unique. Woo!
yeah, there's some shit on there, man. I didn't like, and it's trippy because I don't, and you know, like when I do collaborations, I don't intend to like put them on projects. It's just we're working and we're just, hey yo, I heard you on this joint, and then it just happens to be a beat from Curster, and then it just so happens to, you know what I mean? And then it's like,
Yeah.
oh, boom, and then it just aligns, you know. So like, and there's a lot of other artists out there that I'm really trying to work with too, but I'm just all around the board with it, man. You know, like so there was no, you know, particular on who I wanted on it, how I want it. Just like it's just art, man. You know what I mean?
That's dope, man. It's beautiful. It's organic. This
It's
part of it
straight
is
organic.
planned. The rollout is strategic. The marketing has some thought behind it. But at the end of the day, art happens very spontaneous, right? Yeah.
Facts, man.
That's dope, man. You mentioned the Amsterdam EP, dropped last month. It's called the Amsterdam EP because it was recorded in Amsterdam. Can you talk to us about that project? Because
Well,
that's still a new project.
well, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say it was recorded in Amsterdam. I feel like because when I first went to Europe in 2012, I met Ice Rocks out there, and you know, from that relationship, you know, we went back to it because when we had these tracks, like we released Nomads 1, and it kind of had its own uniqueness to it too as well. So we were like, yo, let's come with a part 2. So we were working on a part 2, and pretty much what happened, we ended up with a lot of tracks, too many, you know, to do like a vinyl and shit like that. So it just really went from like, all right, let's just do an EP and then use these songs as the Nomads too. So we were like in the pocket, you know, trying to think of a name for something. We're like, yo, let's just utilize where we met. You know, we met in
Yeah,
Amsterdam 2012. Like, let's just name the shit the Amsterdam EP, and this is the appetizer before the main dish, basically. You know, it's just a little EP of just some tracks that we felt weren't the strongest ones, so if you thought these were hard as fuck, well, you know, the album to us is something, you know, different. But yeah, so that's what that album was. I mean, EP was, and you know, so I think throughout these months leading out to the end of the year, I'm gonna be dropping projects similar to that and to this one that I'm gonna drop on the 30th as well. So you know, it could be like 6 to 8 songs, maybe 12 songs, but I'm dropping, man. So you know, um, that's all there is to it, man. And I think what it is to really prove a point to myself that I can say something and really make it happen, and also do quality in the process of doing it so
yeah,
quickly. You know what I mean? It's just like, you know, Picasso, bro. Like you ask him to do a little drawing of your face and it takes him fucking 2 minutes, but the shit is worth $1 million,
yeah,
bro. Like that's the concept I'm coming with, man. It doesn't matter how long it takes you. It's how good the art is at the end of the day, you know, because it
yeah,
took me years to do it that short, you know what I'm saying, in that short of time, and for people to say, wow, you know. So I want to showcase that aspect of who I am as an artist because I work fast, man. I think if anybody's seen me in the lab, they know how I get in the lab and move. Like I move quick and I move really fast, you know,
yeah,
and I think that's the efficiency that I could bring to the game that could pretty much set me apart because I do quality real fast. You know, it's like,
yeah,
you know, Dapper Dan Suits, you know, like you know, I could fucking flip some shit out real quick. And I think bringing that quality to the game, man, is what um I I want to use in my own box, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
yeah, every month expect me to drop, man. And if you listen to a lot of the projects, they're all different, you
yeah,
know what I'm saying? They're all on some different shit. So yeah, man, that's what it is, man. That's what we're on. But the Amsterdam EP was created in like New York, and then most of it was created in LA, pretty much. Like literally like in 3 4 days I fucking was just like with Ice Rocks, and we sat and ordered Uber Eats and just fucking smoked weed and just recorded all day. For
yeah.
yeah, it was crazy.
That's a good life.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, you got to create it though, man. You
Yeah,
know, I don't want
yeah,
to be a bum doing it, you know, because my homie, you know,
yeah,
Ice Rocks wouldn't be in the room with me for sure. But you know, you have to definitely create the spaces. You got to create the time, and you got to create that life for yourself to create that art. You know what I mean? And I was luckily I had the time to like, you know, set that up to where I could just be in the pocket. And like it was to the point where I'm like, all right, here we go. Like I was like tired, like writing, you know. So but yeah,
that's
man,
awesome.
it takes a lot, man, you know, to really do this shit. And I feel like if I could pour this work ethic into anything I do, I'm gonna win, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's all there is to it, dog, you know?
Yeah. Now your discography and you know your years in the game are amazing. You know everything that you've done in your career. You were dropping so many gems. You said like Dapper Dan Suits and you
Yeah.
mentioned Picasso too. And I think that Picasso is such an amazing artist. It's cool because he's from Spain also, right? But yeah, uh, Spanish dude, most famous painter in ever, you know. But what's interesting about him is that he had so many years of toil, of struggle, of being a starving artist. Then when you go and you look at, if you look at one of him do one or two paintings the same day, yeah, it's not that same day. It's decades of work, and you've got that under your belt at this point. Decades of work. You know, you talked about your incredible turnaround time, your work ethic, and how you work in the studio. Can you share with us what your creative process is like? What it's like when you get a track and how you go about it?
Um, I need to focus, man. Like I can't have any interruptions. You know what I mean? Like, and interruptions. I mean, like I can't be doing simultaneous shit. Like,
Yeah,
I just have to just be like, hey, today, I'm gonna dedicate to writing. You know what I mean? So I'll dedicate hours, like pretty much like a work shift to
yeah,
writing. You know what I mean? And until like literally my eyes hurt and like my back hurts from like I'm just like fuck, all right. And I'll wake up the next morning whether I record shit that day or I go back in and see what I did. I'll record that. So I'll have that and then I'll write something new. So I'll just kind of just keep adding on to this like tailless um um creative, piece. I think it's like an endless piece that I'm just constantly adding to because I don't see an ending in it. But it's just like it's like this work thing where I just kind of like lock in, focus, in on and luckily having my own studio at the house, own sacred area to create and shit like that. That really helps me too, man, to really just have that space to myself,
yeah,
to think and smoke some trees, lock into my zone, and just get work done, man. And I feel like if I could do something for my career in rap and also get a bag and working also on having to get money to pay my bills because hip hop isn't doing it. I got to do that as
yeah,
well, and then just having the all around thing of like even the physical aspect to it, like where like a workout, yoga, shit like that. Like if I could get all those key components in one day, that's a successful day to me, man. You know what I mean?
that's
I don't
dope.
have to do nothing crazy. If I could be able to do the shit that I love and also create um, new avenues, meet new people, new opportunities. I think that's what I'm able to do when I lock in and like I focus on shit. So that's like the process for me is just really being able to focus on that and only that.
Yeah,
So but yeah, man, it's I'm a simple man, dog. Like you put me in a room, raw ass beat, some trees. I don't even need alcohol. Like if it's there, cool. That's nothing that I really ever needed. But water bottles and fucking let's get the show rocking, dog. Like it's not too complicated. Like I don't need to be in a mental space or I don't need I write and also too what it is with me is like when I write a line down, like there's no second guessing some shit that hit my head, came into my mouth, and then like it took a process for me to do that. So anything that hits the paper, it's staying. So I don't erase lines. Like I don't sit there and fucking like I have to sit there and be like, okay, boom, okay, bam. If I'm gonna write it down, it's gonna stay because it went through a process. And for me to erase that process, then obviously what I'm doing isn't you know efficient enough for me to be on a pace that I'm on. So I think at the end of the day, man, I just have like this own thing where I lock in my own space, my own time, and I focus and I get shit done, man.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
pretty much what it is, dog.
That's dope, man. Thank you for like going into detail about it. It's interesting for you, that's your process. But
Right.
for people who love your music and for other artists that admire you as a writer, I think it's really dope for them to hear how you actually work. How you said something there that to me really stood out. And you said basically you treat it like a work day.
Yeah.
You'll lock in, you'll create the space, and then you get to working.
Right.
You know, sometimes you could probably knock out 8 bars in like 5 minutes, and sometimes those 8 bars you gotta grind for them
Right.
to make them
Right.
happen. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Exactly.
But it's
Yeah.
a work day. It's a work
Exactly. It's a
day.
work day. Exactly, brother.
That's
Yeah.
dope.
That's exactly what it is, man, because you know it's a grind, man, just like anything else. You know, if you're really trying to do this, or if you are doing this, like it's a everyday thing that you have to work at. And you know, it takes time, effort, sacrifice, endless sleepless nights. um yeah, but you know, I love it because this is who I am. You know, this is my identity. So
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
comes
bro.
with the
That's
territory,
dope.
man.
And you're
You know,
crushing it. And you're crushing it, bro. Your
appreciate
music's
it.
incredible. Your discography's incredible. You have
Appreciate
another project that you released earlier this year called Forever XP. I took a little snippet
it.
from one of the songs. I
Right,
was going
right,
over the 6th Street Bridge, going home yesterday,
right.
and I took that little video. That was actually they were filming. They had like a concert going on, and I was filming the concert, and then I flipped it, and you forget how dope the 6th Street Bridge is. You know what I'm saying? I
Right,
was like,
right.
that's
Yeah, that's
dope.
it's legendary. Yeah.
It's legendary, bro. And I was doing the promo yesterday, and I just snipped that video down, and I was like going through your tracks, and I was like, this grimy little intro right here from the
Yeah.
Forever XP album. This is perfect. It sounds so cool. Can you talk to us about the Forever XP project?
Yeah, yeah, man. Well, my man from the UK, shout out to Agor. He sampled Forever Pavit, and he made a beat. We dropped a single, and I get this message from Forever Pavit. He you know, hits me up. He's like, "Hey, man, you use a sample of mine on the track." You know, and we released it on all DSPs and everything. So
It's
I'm
out
thinking
there.
I'm thinking homie's gonna hit me on some like cease and desist type shit, like
Yeah,
yo, like,
yeah,
but nah, man, the message was of endearment. It was a message of like, yo, man, like what you did was awesome. Would you be willing? He said it's always been a dream of mine to create a hip hop project because he's very like, you know, popish and you know, but he grew up in that you know, sampling era. So, you know, he's always, and you know, he lives in France and he's like doesn't really know American hip hop artists, you know, other than the dudes he listens to.
yeah.
And, you know, to reach out, you know, to their camps and you know, do something with those guys. It's like, you know, you need a bag and shit like that. But anyways, long story short, man, he felt what I did to his stuff and approached me with a project that I could not refuse, man. It was like, yo, like, how would you feel about it if I created all the music for you and we did a project? And I'm like, all right, if this dude did this shit that we're sampling, then that's a fucking no-brainer, dog, you
Right, he's
know?
got to be good. And that
Yeah,
album is special, man. It has a
yeah.
really incredible
Thank
sound.
you, man. Thank you, man. Yeah, like I've been getting a lot of love, man, from like the France scene and you know, the vinyl scene because like it is a different type of hip hop. I think it has like more of like a jazzy, you know, poppy feel and it's still raw. The rhymes are raw. It has DJ cuts by legendary DJ Styles. Like it has some nice cuts on there that I feel like in time will grow and gravitate on the public, you know what I mean? But
Yeah,
I think for like the raw dudes that know what I do, I think I don't know if they consumed it to that point. You know, but I feel like what this did, it really opened up my lane to like a whole new fan base, you know, like
yeah.
so, you know, but I think coming with that other shit right after, you know, the Amsterdam EP and hitting them with that, I think that really switched it up a bit, but was still along the lines of raw shit. But yeah, man, that's how that whole project happened, dog. It was some you know, like out of a storybook type shit. Like, you know, you use my music, but I like it. Let's work. You know what I mean? It wasn't
So
let me hit you with a fucking lawsuit like how it normally kind of happens. But you know,
it's a true artist.
yeah, he was willing to work. I was willing to work, and I think we created a dope project, man. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. So in 2012, you started going out to Europe to do shows and things like
Right,
that. You just got back from Europe
right.
a couple months ago. Can you talk to us about the recent European tour and what it's like, you know, in Europe performing to Europe, what your music, how well it's accepted and appreciated in Europe, and how you've built those relationships because you got so many European producers you're working with.
Right. Yeah, man. I feel like just traveling over there, man. Getting my ass over there and meeting people in the flesh and linking with people that, produce from out there, building the catalog with individuals out there, just really doing it, doing the indie hip hop shit where you're sleeping on the couch, you're linking with
Yeah,
homies. Hey man, you
yeah,
can sleep at my house tonight, and if whatever, dog, you can fucking head over there, whatever. Like like we did all that shit, man. And I feel like now that I'm in a space where I could travel out there now, man, and like I get love from like people from all across the board. They travel from all around. If the show's in one area and it's not gonna go by their area, they'll drive out to it
yeah,
and they'll buy the vinyls, the merch. So it's an eye opener to what's happening out here. I feel like, in the States to like do that, it's a little bit more difficult
yeah,
if you are like underground hip hop like myself. I think like Europe kind of eats it up way more. They're
yeah,
the ones that are like supporting in a tangible way. Because if you drop a vinyl or something like that, like they're the ones that are quick to be on it and stuff like that. Um, Looking at like all my demographics and shit, like LA streams a lot of my stuff, but even so, like I did that whole European tour, and then I got back and I did a show, and there was a couple people there. So like
you're like
it
young. I
just
was just rocking out Barcelona. How is this
yeah,
not
bro.
packed?
Yeah, I was in France. I was in Barcelona. I went to Denmark. I was in Switzerland. Like multiple shows out there, different spots and shit. So it was man, like creating that whole um creating that whole ecosystem of like being able to go out there, meeting artists, meeting promoters, meeting graffiti artists, meeting producers,
Yeah,
meeting people just like all across the board. I think now, like I could just travel out there with, my friends and family and just be straight. It doesn't have to be
yeah,
music. Like I got friends and, family out there, now. So it's created something definitely that's beyond my imagination, because I know there's a lot of artists that want to go overseas and wish they could do that shit, but it isn't that easy, man, or else everybody would be doing it, dog. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And that's the whole thing about it, man. And I feel very blessed and very lucky that early on in my career I was, invited out there, and shout out to the homie Yannick. I mean, he's the one that brought me out there 12 years ago,
yeah,
and I was able to just really utilize the relationships, capitalize, and then also utilize who I am as well, and just keep on releasing the music for these guys to want to book me and to want to
yeah,
keep me around, So that's what it is, man. It's just is providing the fans with shit that they can support, man. So um, and I know everybody works at a different pace too. So,
yeah,
I know what it is, but at the end of the day, like we gotta move with the times, we can't be locked in what we want, because
yeah,
if it was like that, then everybody would be successful. Everybody would be able to do this. It's like we gotta move with the times and how shit's moving. And if you don't have a way, you gotta find a way, and
yeah,
that's where we're at as like indie artists now. You really gotta like even like older heads, like they're trying to utilize like how do we be relevant, like, what I mean? It's like everybody's on the social media, like you gotta learn this shit,
yeah,
and even then, like I don't consider myself an older head or like a younger. I'm like right in the middle, but even then, like I'm still oblivious to like certain shit, like TikTok and like all this other shit. Like I
yeah,
don't utilize that shit, but I know it helps. But it's just like me personally, like I'm so engulfed in creating this art that I cannot put another 100 times effort into just being a personality for people,
yeah,
so I feel like, all right, well, I'm just gonna be myself. I'm gonna create this art, and people are gonna get it, and people aren't. I know I have these other things to utilize into helping my career do this shit, but it's not me, and I'm not gonna do shit that's not me. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like TikTok shit is not me, dog. I don't go on there.
yeah,
Hey guys, what's up, dog? It's just not my style. I'll go live here and there and do stuff like that, but I feel like people will get to know me more through the music than anything else, than me
yeah,
just going live and I'm eating a hamburger with my people and I'm out. Hey, what's up? Like, hey, what's up, guys? I'm gonna cook chicken on the grill today. How's your son? Like, I want to know. Like, peace to all my people. All that shit. But I feel like we have to create that sense of mysticism again, bro. Like
Ooh.
when we were, fans of this shit, like we didn't know what Tupac was eating food. We didn't know what what fucking, Biggie was, gonna do. Uh, when he was on his off time, like, and that's what created that sense of mysticism and
Yeah,
wanted you to engage more. And I think the more they know you, the less they want to engage with you,
yeah,
dog. Like the more they know about you, it's like, oh, that's just XP. Oh, he's live again. Oh, it's just XP. He's gonna tell us about his fucking meal that he just ate against 20. Like, so at the end of the day, man, like I want to be one with with the public and with the fans and with the supporters and everything, but we got to create that little bit of a separation, man, because I see a lot of entitlement with like people that are the fans and the people that are listeners of this shit, dictating what hip hop is and where
that's
it's fucking,
good.
going, and I feel like just let the artists be artists. Shut the fuck up. Listen to the music. If you like it and you don't, then that's up to you.
Yeah,
You support it, you don't, that's up to you. But don't try to step out of your boundaries on trying to like, dictate where hip hop's gonna go. And then what it does is all these other artists are like, oh shit, I have to do that because that's what's gonna make me successful, and it's like just be yourself, drop
yeah,
ill shit, sit in the pocket. I'm not gonna say perfect your craft because you can never perfect your craft, but keep getting better and
yeah,
keep your ass in the lab analyzing, creating, and like keep yourself elevating as an artist, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you could do the drug rap, cool, but elevate it. You could do
yeah,
the fucking drill shit, but elevate it. Like just elevate, dog. You know what I mean? Make it, better. Don't try to do what the next man's doing. Do it better. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So that's just what it is, man. And I think that's where this shit is at, with
yeah.
myself. I forgot the question you asked me, man. And I probably went off on a tangent.
My brother, you're dropping so many gems. So many gems, my bro. So many gems.
I appreciate you, man.
Just to touch on some of those gems. You talked about the mystique the artists used to have. Growing up, man, I remember Nas, you know what I'm saying, when Nas Illmatic dropped. And then like his next album didn't drop for like 2 years. And you didn't know a lot. But then he dropped on a featuring with Raekwon on you know what I'm saying? And like it was like, and so the verses had to be incredible, and the
Right,
artist had this mysticism around them
right,
that
right,
made
exactly.
them like gods. They're larger than life, you know. And now, you know what I'm saying, you following them through like uh breakfast traffic. It's just, and there's nothing I think wrong.
No,
Right
no,
now we're
man,
using the
no,
medium,
for sure, for sure.
right, but there's got to be quality and substance, you
Yeah,
know
man,
and that's the thing, right?
there has to be some QC into shit, man. And like I said, like to each their own, but I feel like, being myself, doing what I do, how I do it, that's what's gonna get me to where
Yeah,
I need to go,
yeah,
without utilizing certain aspects that other artists use,
yeah,
and that's just what it is. But we're living in a different age now, man. It isn't the age we grew up in, where, like you said, you could be a Nas, drop a project, and wait 2 years, and then fucking here I come again, because people are like hungry, waiting for you. Like,
yeah.
it's a different game, dog. Like a lot of
Well, even
people really
him,
don't give a
talking
fuck.
about him, he's been dropping.
No, but see, he sees the climate too.
Yep.
It's a different climate, dog. You
Yeah,
gotta drop, dog. Like in order to be relevant, you gotta drop. Like it sucks that fools get complacent with who they are with within the hip hop shit. Like maybe there's a certain caliber, but I say always stay hungry, dog. Like
yeah,
don't ever let that hunger leave you, because there's hungry motherfuckers
yeah,
everywhere, and they're eyeing that shit too, bro. And just because you're somebody does not mean that that plate is secure for you. Like that
yeah,
plate will get eaten up if you're not there securing that shit. And I think artists are realizing that now. Like the older, like, yo, I gotta drop, I gotta be relevant, I gotta be consistent. It is a consistent, based, game. And I know it's a double edged, sword too, where it's like, okay, oversaturation, like, oh, dog, you're dropping too much, like, dog, like, but I can understand that. But if you're doing it in particular, like you said, like having the project have its own identity. It has a nice rollout. It has a fucking story attached to it. It just has like this whole thing, dude. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about art. I'm talking about real creative projects and processes that go into this shit. The thought process that go into this shit is like it's not just add water and mix. It isn't just do this that. It's like real making this shit from scratch, giving it to you on a plate, and real artisan like like here, man, like this is something that I've made for my core audience and my core people that rock with me. You know what I mean? So that's where we're at with it, man. I'm doing that. I'm cooking real small art pieces for people and that are ultimately gonna lead into like a bigger, picture, bigger collage. I would say,
That's dope, my bro. I think that your fans are gonna be really happy about all of the projects coming out this year. I wanted to ask you something just to kind of change it up a little bit. Your name is dope, XP the Marxman. Can you give us the origin story on the name?
Yeah, man. Well, I used to be Express, back in the day with my earlier rap group, and one of my boys that was my neighbor at the time, rest in peace. He pretty much he used to call me XP, for short, and unfortunately, he in his remembrance, I cut the Express and I just used XP. I was like, you know what, like in his remembrance, I'm gonna run with that. And I think later on, maybe a few years later, like the Marxman just kind of attached itself to my name. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of just utilize it as like I'm always gonna be on point. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna miss with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Everything I throw is gonna be accurate and on point. So that's where the Marxman came into play. But it does stem from a painful event, but I want to utilize it in the best way possible and utilize it in a brighter light, man. So I carry my boy with me everywhere I go. He's on my flight, like like that's what I'm saying. So that's what it is, man. That's how I think we pay respect. Like all the real G's out there, dog. Like they're gonna find a way of paying respect. What I'm saying, to their G's and maybe a song title or maybe even a like a tattoo or some shit. But I think immortalizing the dead is what we do best, dog. Through our music and shit like that, and through our creative processes, dog. You know what I mean?
That's dope, bro. Thank you for sharing that story. You making your homie proud everywhere you go.
Facts, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to the homie Andre Barrios, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Straight up.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man. XP the Marxman, fast and accurate. You know what I'm saying?
Facts, G.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
In addition to hip hop, you know what I'm saying, you're also a connoisseur of cannabis. Right. Can you talk to us a little bit about some of your favorite strains? What the XP smoke?
I smoke it all. I smoke it all as long as the shit don't got no mildew on it or ain't got no crazy shit on it. As long as the shit's good. I'll even smoke some shit with some seeds, homie. Let's run that. But for the most part, man, I'm an OG head. I like, San Fernando OG. Like that's my shit. I've tried tree from all around the world, all around the board. But my go-to, and me and most of the mijos I roll with, we fuck with the OGs, dog, like all day. Like, and like there's a lot of different OGs. I know there's the Skywalker OG and there's the Diablo OG and there's this OG, but we fuck with the San Fernando OG. And there's a distinctive taste and smell when lighting that shit up. So don't come around and talking about this, that OG, because I'll know.
Yeah. You're connoisseur. You're a connoisseur. You're like, listen, you know how they got the how wine, they've got the sommeliers in wine, right? You're a connoisseur of this. Listen, I know. I'll tell you the year. I'll tell you the year. What about when you roll to Europe, man? Because when I was in Spain and I was in France and stuff like that, they on that they like that
Smoke,
hash.
oh, hash, yeah, yeah.
They like that
Honestly,
hash with the tobacco.
right, exactly. So I naturally smoke blunts and shit. So what happens is when I go to Europe, I do as the Europeans do. And we
When
roll
in
spliffs.
Rome, when in
When
Rome.
in Rome, dog, so we roll spliffs, man, and it's gotten to the point where now I'm on this side and I roll spliffs now too. So
Yeah.
it's gotten pretty bad. I used to hate that shit, but now I love it, and I'm kind of preferring that shit over blunts now, But you know what I mean, man. I feel like having good tobacco, and having good, um, you know what I'm saying? Just having like the overall, you know, good full flavor of tree is what I go for. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But it's always gonna be SFOG, dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. That's dope, man. Can you tell us a little bit about growing up, like in your household? What kind of music did they listen to? Like, did your mom and dad put you on to hip hop? Did they listen to like a different type of music? Like, what's that musical background that kind of led into? Because all these things influence your music and your sound and your upbringing. You know what I'm saying? Can you tell us
Definitely.
what it was like?
Yeah, man. My household, like, we didn't really listen to like rancheras or anything, any of that stuff. It was just oldies, homie, like oldies, classic rock. My dad's he used to listen to the Doors and
That's my
shit like that.
favorite band right
You know,
there. I'm a hip
you
hop head,
know,
but I love me
no,
some
facts,
Doors.
facts. I grew up on all that shit too, like Van Halen and shit like that. Like, my family's more like Americanized, you know what I'm saying? I have a lot of uncles that were like in the service, and my OGs, my grandparents, they taught my parents to like assimilate.
Yeah.
You couldn't speak Spanish because it was looked down upon. So
That's that
it
old
trickled
school.
down.
That's that old school. That's the way it was back in the day.
Exactly. But what ended up happening was it like trickled down. So what ended up happening was like the Mexican people, they don't see us as true Mexicans, and American people, they don't really fuck with us either because we are Mexican. And so it's like, you gotta, find your place. And I think, Chicanos, dealt with that shit their whole life, but that's pretty much my household, dog. We listen to nothing but fucking oldies, man, classic rock and hip hop shit, R&B, you know what I mean? But mainly like, funk, um, soul, oldies, uh, you know what I mean? Just real, like, backyard boogie-ish, type shit, bro. That's all I grew up on,
Yeah.
Yeah, dog, and having, my parents being a part of an LA street gang too. It's like, we have, family parties, dog, and like there's certain tracks that I'll listen to now that put me back into a house party, and I remember we were playing hide and go seek, with my cousins, and we're running around the fucking shit, and like our parents are partying. It's like it brings me back to that space,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, and I really cherish that aspect of who I am, and I bring that Chicano shit to the culture, dog, and you know what I mean? Like, but I do it my way, you know what I'm saying? Because I
Yeah.
already know, like, it's easy to get it twisted with like, the gang banging aspect of it and stuff like that. But I'm keeping it straight hip hop, and I'm keeping this shit straight neutral,
Yeah.
dog. It's mijo music, and I say what's up, mijo, and shit, and like that shit's universal because
Yeah.
it's like saying what's up, Steve.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the same shit. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, man, that was the household, bro. It was a straight oldies, bro. Straight house, parties and fucking running around the apartment building, getting into trouble, fighting the local kids, and you're backing up, your cousins, like just crazy shit, dog. We was just kids, fucking around and shit,
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah.
You know what I
That's
mean?
dope, man. Thanks for painting that picture for us. It's really interesting because you're talking about what was growing up in your household in the Chicano household. And what's real interesting about hip hop is especially on the West Coast, you know what I'm saying? Obviously California, LA, also in places like Texas and in Arizona, Nevada, you got big Chicano culture, and so much so that there's a whole subset of hip hop, of
Oh,
rap
for sure.
music, right?
For sure,
That
bro. Yeah,
people are
yeah.
very familiar with. That's the Chicano rap.
Right.
Very lucrative market, bro. You could tour all day just right
Yeah,
there
for
at the
sure, for
car
sure.
shows all day.
You know, low
And
rider
that's
shows and
it.
shit. Yeah,
Sell
hell yeah.
crazy swag.
That's what I'm
And
saying. Like I appreciate that shit, and like I grew up with that shit a little bit too. But I kind of felt like living that shit and like growing up with that shit every day. Like I wanted to get as far as I could away from that sound and from that shit
yeah,
because it's like you're growing up every day and you're like labeled that every day. And even in the beginning of my career when I would like open up for some shit, like, fools automatically, would assume that I'm gonna be up there, kicking this, Chicano
yeah,
rap shit. And it's cool, man. Like, don't get me wrong, but I felt like if I was gonna rap, I wanted to rap.
yeah,
I wanted to be
yeah,
a part of the elites. You know what I mean? I
yeah,
felt like, Chicano hip hop is a part of hip hop, but I felt like it's very limited
yeah,
and, very like, boxed in because even if you're a Chicano rapper and you just happen to be from a hood and you're ripping your hood and your music, you're missing out on all those other hoods that don't fuck with you. You're missing out. So
yeah,
it's like it's very fucking boxed in. Like even the South Side Chicano hip hop compared to it's like you're missing out on all the all the support, dog. From your people, homie. And I think when you box yourself in like that, I think it's hard for you to distinguish yourself out side of that Chicano hip hop shit. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
to each their own, man. But I felt like if I was gonna do hip hop, I would have to do hip hop. I didn't want to put the Chicano, before it because I know what I am, homie. Like
yeah,
I look in the mirror every fucking day, homie. So what? You gonna talk? I know I'm Chicano, dog, but it doesn't have to be labeled that.
yeah.
I do hip hop, homie. I don't do Chicano hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Good.
So that's
Yeah,
that's so yeah. Like growing up in LA too, man, it was very hard to distinguish myself from that scene, and and you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Growing up in that shit, man, like I said, like I wanted to do hip hop my way. And I wanted to
yeah,
tell, the stories my way. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And that's just, that's where we took it with it, man. You know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah, I think what's interesting is that and this is one of those things where like I want to navigate the way I say it carefully. I want to be nimble. I want to be nimble in how I speak. 'Cause I'm Latino, and I
Right.
love Latinos,
Right.
and I love Latinos, and we've all felt really proud when "This Is for La Raza" comes on. We
Oh
all,
yeah,
you know
hell
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Oh, hell
And
yeah.
I
Hell
love
yeah.
to see, I love to see black and brown people do well in the world, right?
Nah,
But if we're
facts,
talking
bro.
about facts, right? But if we're talking about the upper echelons of lyricism, right?
Right.
If we're talking about pound for pound greatest lyrical abilities,
Right.
shit that makes your head explode, it's not a subgenre. You're playing in the NFL, right? You're playing in the major leagues, and that's what you've done. You've entered the major
Thank
leagues
thank you. Thank
of
you.
hip hop,
Thank you.
right? Absolutely. Cause I'm a connoisseur of this shit,
Right.
right?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Hell
And
yeah.
I'm telling you, you're in the major leagues of this,
I
where
appreciate that, man.
absolutely,
We
my
worked our way
brother.
up, man. Like I come from a hungry, background of just hungry young kids that wanted to create hip hop, and like I feel like we weren't trying to um do it the fast way,
Yeah,
like we studied the guidebooks to this shit,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Studied the best of them, to and the way I like to describe it is like we had our own pot and we just added different shit from everybody and then we stirred it and we made our own shit.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So yeah, man, I feel like that like you have to distinguish yourself, man. Like hip hop's so saturated
yeah.
with shit nowadays that like I feel like with everybody trying to do shit that's not themselves, the best way to do it is just to be yourself, dog. You know what I mean?
That's good.
That's like honestly, bro. Like if anybody asks me, and all my homies know this shit, like they know I didn't do nothing, special, dog. I just sat my ass in the lab, wrote, recorded, and fucking, I just worked on my craft, dog, and that's a perfect example of getting to where you need to go. It's like sit there, work at it till people see it and they fuck with it too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not that hard, but it's hard, bro. You know what I mean? It's not that hard, but it's fucking hard, bro. I've been doing this shit for so long, and I feel like I'm finally at a place where people can see what I'm doing, man, and I
Yeah.
don't have to sit here and scream and say, "Hey, look at me, I rap, I'm this, I'm that." And so it's like people are learning my story. They're like, "Yo, this fool's from the West Coast, a Mexican kid that raps like this. He's on tracks with, huh?" And it's just like, hey, so like he's doing something
Yeah.
right. You know what I mean? And I feel like now people are seeing that because for years I would just try to yell and scream and kick and be like, look at me, I fucking rap, I'm dope. But I was like, I don't give a fuck anymore who thinks I'm dope or not.
Yeah.
Homie, I sit in the pocket and I write because that's what keeps me sane, homie. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm not doing that shit, best believe I'm sneaking in your crib and I'm jacking your shit or I'm doing some completely stupid, idiot shit because
Yeah.
this energy and this time that I put into this shit is exactly that energy. It's the energy of the pain, the energy of the aggression, the energy of the streets, the energy of all my fucking trials and tribulations. It's all that fucking energy put into music and something positive
Yeah.
because it can easily go south. It can easily go this way. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is, dog. It's like I put so much time and effort into this that people need to hear that and say, damn, it's like he painted a picture with that shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like it's art. You know what I mean? It isn't just some shit that this fool's just trying to rap. Because there's a lot of that shit, bro. There's a lot of people that just want to rap and be a part of this shit. It's like you know, bring the authenticity into it. Bring the pain, the fucking the feelings. Like make a motherfucker cry. Like do some real shit, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I learned from the greats, bro. Like listening, to DMX, Tupac, and like people that you hear their music and like you're gonna cry, fool. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
that shit just hits you in a certain way. Like what I'm. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to connect with an individual in a way where if they hear my shit, they're not the only ones that are going through that shit. They're not the only ones that are feeling that way. They're not the only ones that are in a rut, dog. It's like, dog. I fucking, you know, I make this shit look good, homie, but I'm at work right now, homie. I'm
Yeah.
in my motherfucking car doing this shit while I'm at work right now, homie.
Yeah.
And you gotta make these motherfucking sacrifices, dog, because who's gonna hold your hand through it?
That's right.
No, ain't nobody gonna drive through in a limo, see you rapping on the street, give you a record deal, pull you into the limo, and take you up top to the fucking 50th floor, 100th floor, dog. That shit is not happening. It's your dream. It's your shit. Take it to the next level, man. And I was blessed to be around individuals that were young,
Yeah.
that believed in themselves, to take themselves to crazy heights in this music industry, and for me to see that and not utilize that, and we come from the same place, I can't do that. And it's not just for my own sake. It's like I can't let that time slip away, and I can't let my ancestors down or my people down, dog. You know what I mean? That's just it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's beautiful, man. So many gems there. He shared so much. So it's
That's how
so
we
that's
do, dog.
so
Don't let your
good.
motherfucking ancestors down, homie. Let's go.
Yeah. That's so good, my bro. There's so many people I talk with that they talk about how, you know, they came from adversity in life, single
Right.
mom, tough neighborhood, drugs, violence, gangs, um, things that you see in the inner city.
Right.
People from both coasts, people in other countries, and they often talk about how hip hop saved their life. You
Oh, for
know,
sure.
whether as an artist and they kept them in the studio and they would have been up in some other shit, or because the lyrics and the way that those artists talked about the adversity they were going through and it helped get them through. You know what I'm saying? I think people hear that authenticity in your life and in your lyrics and in your music.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that, man, because I feel like I went through a lot, man, as a kid, and I struggled with like how am I gonna tell my story?
Mm.
Because I have a crazy story, man. Like you could write a book or make a movie on that shit. But that's why I go so hard because it's not only my fucking story.
Mm.
It's my mom's, it's my grandparents, it's my dad's. It's like I'm tallying a culmination of Chicano heritage from the West Coast in a way that I feel needs to be told, man, because I feel it's already been told in certain ways. Cool, but I want to do it my way, and I'm gonna do it my way. I have been doing it my way, and I feel like my shit needs to be told, bro. Like I have so much shit that I went through in my life that I cannot fucking die without telling people what I went through, dog. You know what I'm saying? And it's not for the wow
Yeah.
factor. It isn't for, oh my God, oh, and it's like it's to really show people like you could come from nothing, homie, and make yourself who you are, dog.
That's
Nothing
good.
in this world can fucking define you but yourself. Not a decision you made, not a person that is woofing shit about you, not a person that feels like you did them wrong or da. Like you make who you are, dog, and you define who you are. You know what I'm saying? And it's all through action. It's all through how you make people feel. It's all through how you respect yourself and how you give others respect, dog. And I think that legacy will live on through anything else. And if you're a dope artist, that's even a plus, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's and like I think to be a great artist, it's a culmination of a lot of things, dog. You can't just be a dope rapper. Like you gotta be a dope individual. You gotta be a humble individual. You have to be a tried and true individual. Like and just have the patience and the compassion for other artists and just other people, dog. You know what I mean? And no matter where you come from, like you could be from the hood and not know any self-respect or anything like that because nobody taught you anything.
Yeah.
But it's not too late, to learn these things and just apply it to your life, man. And I feel like a lot of that shit is missing within this industry, integrity,
Mm.
loyalty, respect. Like a lot of that shit is missing out of this culture that we're in. And there's a lot of shit that's been happening with like OGs, about like just how much of a piece of shit they are and just this nasty rumors about people and when you hear this shit a lot, you kind of question it. And then when shit comes to light, you're like, wow, fools were telling the truth. It's like,
Yeah, I hate that, right? Because I don't believe anything on the internet. But then when it winds up being true, man, it just makes me feel crazy. Like it's like,
bro,
man,
it's like and see, and it's like we are the new generation of this hip hop art form. So it's up to us to really remold it, reshape it, and do it right, fool. Because I feel like for years, a lot of shitty ass motherfuckers, got away with being able to have a bag and just treat people like shit,
yeah,
step on people, shit on their dreams and fucking use people. Like that shit's out the window, homie. Like
yeah,
that shit gets no love. That shit is at the depths of the earth right now. And I feel like a lot of the truth is like coming to the light now.
yeah,
And a lot of those individuals won't be along much longer. And it's up to us, the people that are on the rise, to really restructure this whole hip hop shit and put it in a place where it's not looked at like some, disposable art shit where it's just like, oh, like, nah, man, like this shit's a culture. This shit saves lives. This shit is like some people's only thing they have.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And like for people to misuse it and mistreat it and just use it as like a fucking like it ain't shit, man. Like I'm tired of that shit, man. So I feel like I'm gonna do my best to bring my best to whatever I do, and also spread unity, love, and just like you know what I'm saying? Because I mean,
yeah,
obviously hip hop is a competitive thing, but at the end of the day, I'm not trying to sit and put any type of thought process towards another man unless he's trying to hurt me in a different way. I don't want to think about another man unless he's in my circumference trying to hurt what I'm doing.
yeah,
And that's just me. So if anybody's trying to attack me with some lyric shit, you won't expect to hear anything from me. You won't expect because I don't give attention to that shit, bro.
yeah,
And it's not that I don't give attention to negativity. It's because I'm not trying to sit in a room and think about another man that I don't love. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
The only man that I'm thinking about are the motherfuckers I love, my friends, my family. But like I said, man, to each their own. But you know what I'm saying, man? I think with this hip hop shit, man, like I said, I think it really needs a reboot and motherfuckers like myself, a lot of cats out there, man. Hats off to all the up and comers, all the OGs
yeah,
that are holding it down still too. You know what I'm saying? All the OGs showing me and my camp love, and all the youngsters on the rise love, man. My hats off to you, and we're gonna keep this shit alive and strong. I mean, that's
yeah.
what it is.
That's dope, my bro. Because hip hop is very much right now. in a form of a renaissance, in a golden
Oh,
age.
for sure. For sure.
Right now, we're in it. You are a part of that. You know what I'm saying? It is happening right now. That's facts. You know what
That's fact.
I'm saying? Yeah,
Hey, yo,
brother.
I'm fucking like looking at my eyes for like real talk. For I've been like off a little bit of sleep. So if anybody out there, you think I'm like doing drugs, smoking crack, all this other shit, I'm just a workaholic, and I've been working and just
Yo,
going.
I was on your story. I was like, you were at like the Hollywood Bowl, and then you had like a music video shoot. Now you on the live with me. My man putting in the hours.
I'm Mexican, fool. What we
Yeah,
do, dog?
absolutely, bro. That's what
Yes,
it is, my
sir.
brother. Yeah. Listen, as we start the rap, I want to make sure that people know how to like connect with you and get that work, right? What's the best place for people to be able to collaborate with you? If producers want to send you beats,
Right.
of up and coming artist wants to maybe talk with you about purchasing a feature, what's the right way to connect with you?
Oh man, y'all can hit me up on at XP the Marksman. That's XPTheMarxman on all platforms. And that's pretty much like but if you want to hit me up on some business shit, just hit up the email xp.marxman@gmail.com, and if you hit up my pages, you'll see all that shit. So that's pretty much it, man. I'm super just locked in with the music right now. So if anybody wants a feature, hit me up because I'm cooking up and I'm in the kitchen, man. You know what I'm
You in the
saying? With
kitchen
the
every
adobo,
day.
with the adobo, fool.
Woo! Adobo on everything.
With the adobo, homie. And the tapatio, dog.
My bro, on Tuesday, new album, Terrermoto,
Yes,
dropping on
Tuesday,
all
everybody.
DSPs.
Yes, I believe that this is going to be one of the best projects that I've done so far, only because of where my mind was at with it, man. So I hope everybody out there supports it. Shout out to the features, and shout out to my man Kirster for shooting me his best shit. So Tuesday, baby, May
That's
30th,
beautiful.
Terrermoto coming out, homie.
XP the Marksman, my brother, it's been an honor. I can't wait to run it back with you some point in the
Definitely,
future.
man.
And I see you
Definitely.
around LA, my bro.
Hit up a show, homie. You already know what time it is. We out here.
All right, my brother. Thank you so
Hey,
much.
man. Salute to everybody out there, man. Peace out, dog. I appreciate you,
Peace,
dog.
my bro.
Peace, man.